And we are live back with you, Steph. Good luck.
Hello, welcome back, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the workshop with Selenis as we all did. So, without further ado, we're going into the next phase. We're mixing it up and digging into youth reporting, and we're going to have an amazing interview. We are having Muhammad Najem joining us today. He's youth reporter on the Syrian crisis, and we're going to talk about the importance of youth activism. So without further ado, I will give it over to you to tell us a little bit more about yourself. What are you doing? Welcome.
Hi, Stephanie. Welcome. First, my name is Muhammad Najem. I'm 18 years old. I'm from Syria, Damascus countryside. I'm an activist in English on social media. I was 8 years old when the war began in my country. I was a kid, so years later, the war it's really makes people suffering there, and I was had to do something, and I became sharing the voice of the people from my place there.
That's super interesting to hear. Also, really brave. To be honest, if we think about us at the age of 15, right? So at the age of 15, like most children, they're studying in school, and for you, you were reporting about the Syrian crisis. For you, what was the turning point that made you become a youth activist?
Well, actually, the war changed everything, and my school I was studying in is destroyed, and playing like a normal kid with other, it just stopped. My dream is gone, and that's pushed me to do something about that. I can't stop just watching what's happening and just be silent. So what I did, it's seeing my dream gone and everything. So I want to share my voice to the world in their language. Actually, there are a lot of problem was in my way, but that's not stopped me. Because like seeing my people dead is one of the hard thing on the person. And actually, I lost my education, I lost my friend, and my father passed away. And that's enough reason for me to push me to do something about that. And in 2017, after discussing this with my family, I chose to become an activist, sharing the voice of children there to the world, to know the truth and know everything happened there in their language. So I lost my education. That's enough for me to stop my life. If you want to build a country, you have to learn how, and education teach you how. So we lost our education. So like they want to destroy us by our education, and that's actually happened. We stopped learning, but we try to do something different, which is sharing the suffering of the children there, what's happening there to the world, from the dark to the world outside, to know what's really happened. And actually, like that was really risky and dangerous for me, but you have to do something about that. You can't just see and stay silent. You have to do something, and all of us was to do something, and that's why I became an activist.
Thank you so much for sharing that as well.
Thanks.
What does it mean for you to be a youth activist? Like, how important is the role of youth in making the world a better place?
Well, if you want to see the mercy, love, and peace, look into youth minds. Like, actually, we just looking for making the world better. And the truth is, the world listen to us more than the others. We are the next generation on this planet. So we are looking for the environment, for the countries and the wars. We need to see the change around the world. And if we stay together for fighting for our dreams, our hopes, what we want, believe me, we'll achieve this. And we are the future of the world. No one can deny this. So we have to do something. We have to change. and like everything start by changing. So like we are really want something, but that's hard because like some politics don't listen to us. They think that we are young and we don't understand anything, but believe me, that's totally wrong. We are have ideas, we're looking for a clean environment. Like, stop wars. People become hungry eating from baskets. And you have to know that the last statistic, 2020, about 18 million refugees around the world. And actually, I'm one of them. So that's not equal. Some people living in their country among people living outside. We are developing the countries we're living in instead of our country being destroyed. That's not fair. That's not acceptable to us. You know, makes the world better. That need all of us to stand together, hand in hand, for build and stopping the war and killing and shedding blood. And the environment. It's really important to stop the war for the environment. The environment will not be clean if the war continue, and that's we are trying to do. We are sharing our voice for stop the war around the world, to let people living in peace. That's all.
Thank you. To what extent do you think youth activism is necessary for a better tomorrow?
Actually, youth activity is necessary 100% nowadays, because no one care about the plant more than us. We are looking for making difference, and we are the next generation, like I said. So if you look to the politics, we can't leaving our decision about the plan to politics older man to decide instead of us. All the politics just looking for money and houses and whatever, but just we are want to live in peace. Like, why that's happen? Like, this is a plan should be caring about it. This is for us, not for anyone. If you don't take care of that, who will care? So actually, I see a lot of group of people fighting for the environment, and that's really happy for see some youth looking for the environment among people just caring for money. That's not acceptable, and we need to develop the place we are. That's a mix for us. So if we don't care, no one care. So that's our job, to defend on our land. And without the grade of some people, we would be living now the best days of our life. And we have if we want to create a better tomorrow, we have to stop against the government corruption, terrorists, and about racism. We stand with the human rights, with the freedom, and all of that will become our world better and better by the time. We all won, and we have to keep our land safe for everything. And this is our job as a youth nowadays.
Thank you for sharing that. So when we think about youth activism or activism in general, why do you think that in this particular moment the youth is mainly gravitating towards online activism? And what would you suggest? What are other ways in which youth can voice out their opinions?
Well, online nowadays is the easier way for sharing your opinion and what you believe in to the people around you, and it's in short time and more effectively. Believe me, we can really do different thing, like as a youth, when people listen to us. Opinion can make by time a group of people with same opinion will make an issue, and people and organization will support you to show the world your case, what you are looking for. And you know, like we are just wanting to keep our society safe from dangers. We don't mean war or anything. And the website nowadays, it's a easy way for us. And some people, they have deprived of wealth and losing freedom, so they going for websites. And Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, this is the easy way for us for connection and sending what we want to world outside. So the websites make the world a small village. We can share everything on it, and other ways actually we can as peaceful protesters, singing patient, and a lot of way can like a group of people speech in front of them. That's make a big difference nowadays.
حسنا، هل تريد أن نتذكر أن أبا حسنا لن أفعل؟
Don't worry. Don't worry. We all know that feeling in this online environment. Don't worry about it at all. Great. Okay, so thank you for sharing that with us as well. So, how would you say, like now, youth activism is all about, in the end, moving people to change and moving something in higher levels as well. So, how do you think youth activism affected the politics of climate change and war nowadays?
Well, activists now, it's a positive way for changing the climate and war. Like most of the activists nowadays, it's mostly have the same opinion to me. Peace and clean environment, living in peace, freedom of speech, and this is we have the same aim. We're looking for something, and it's not that much big. We are looking for development our land, our world, not just like for killing like some people thinking just killing will change the world. No, we can freedom of speech and peaceful life is very important nowadays. You know, we can keep our world safe like this. So our goal is to stand together, fighting for our environment and our life, like the children dying every day, and now the world doesn't care, and the changing become a plan of the country. Our voice become a plan for some countries after they implement it. And understatement of youth activity is wrong, because like we have seen some organization how supports an idea for a young people, and by the time become a case after that the world become talking about that, and after that become like all world talking about and media agency. So that became a plan for the world to change. Like if we look to Syria, a person share his opinion between people, and the people become a group of big people, and after that become a war. But believe me, after the war everything will change. We'll get our freedom and get back to our home, living in peace. I know that's hard, but we can't change if we don't begin ourselves first, and after that we can affect on the people outside us. And so that's all. Like we have this is simple, like simple thing, sharing your opinion after that became an issue. It's simple for us, and this is the easy way for us to sharing our opinion. Our community nowadays is not allowed to us to speak and keep us like not talking and like this, so that's really sad.
And why do you think that youth activism is on the rise across the globe? We've seen this a lot more present also in different media. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think losing the freedom of some youth push him to do something about his country, and we know that there are a lot of war around the country that push the younger people to do something for them, and they found that social media is the only way they can share their suffering to the world. And after people support them, become an activist, and maybe their voice will arrive more and more to the world. And that's push him, like one push the others to share the voice, and that's actually a good thing. Like in my country was a child became an activist and sharing the voice. After that become me and others. That's if we stand together for our country. Believe me, we can affect on our politics on our country, and the world will stand with us. If we see that in America, in the United States, some Syrian people stand together and ask for United States to make a law against the violation happened in Syria, and that's what's happened. The laws, Kaiser laws, happen and damage Assad regime in Syria, and that's good thing. Like a group of people standing together, sharing opinion and their case for the world. Maybe that's someone will hear them and support them and help, like to change the situation.
Do you think that the youth should get involved into politics?
Well, nowadays it's really important to involve the youth in politics. We have to educate ourselves, learn how the politics mind and how he think about the country and others. We can fight for making world better, not just in weapon, and our knowledge and creative, and those things that we can do it as a youth, as a young people. We have an ambition and have hopes to see like our country like a heaven. Believe me, like if I get a politics place one day, I will make Syria a heaven. But unfortunately, they don't give us the opportunity for sharing our voice. They don't give us a place for vote or just talking with us, listening to our opinion. They don't give us an opportunity. But it's my opinion, sharing our opinion in political place that will develop the country more. We have an ideas, gold ideas can develop, and a lot of things can happen good to the country. So in my opinion, yes.
And now, last but not least, what is next for you? What are you planning to do next?
My next step is starting sharing more videos about what's happening around the world, not just in Syria. I will keep going to sharing the suffering and the pain for the children there in my country, and how they like fighting for survival nowadays from the war. And like the long is like the way is long and hard, but that's not stop me, because I know that from the beginning it will be hard and dangerous, but at the end no surrender and no hopeless. We will keep going. Like this is my job. I have to take risk. I have to defend on people living in tents and under bombing. So we have to become our voice from there. And one thing I have to say something important. At the end, if we don't use every platform and place we are in for sharing a case to the world, that's we don't deserve the place we are now. So what I mean is that free Palestine, free Syria, I hope, may God, like, to keep Palestinian and the people in Gaza safe and sound, and also my people in Syria and all the world. And thank you so much.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, for sharing about your experience and also being very open and vulnerable about it. We hope to see you soon in the future again. And with that, thank you everyone who joined in for this interview space. We're going to go to our next space very soon. But before that, let's have another short break for us to prepare the next space.
All right, perfect.